All right, it is media day, Tom, our final media day of the off season. I'm joined with Mansfield head coach Greg George. We are talking 11-6A, and I don't know, I guess I could go dig in the history books, but it's got to be difficult to be in a district with the 6A gives out two state champions, and they both come out of your district. It's well known this is the district of doom. What was it like going through it and actually making a playoff spot, which is, you got to give yourself kudos for that as well, with your two state champions in the district with you.
Right. Yes, it's a very competitive district. Back when, all these teams started forming and they put us in this district together, I looked at it and I don't know if I'm 100% accurate on this, but it looked like to me that all 8 teams that are in our district currently had made it at least to the 4th round, I think, or deeper, in the last 8 years. So there's a lot of very good history within the schools in our district, and it's competitive every single week.
That's a good point, because you look at Legacy and Skyline, the teams that are struggling. It wasn't too long ago that there's Catalans running around over there at Legacy, and Skyline was had samples over there coaching. So that's a good point you made there. When you look at your non-district, let's talk with that first. How do you schedule your non-district to get yourself ready for what you're about to face in district play?
Well, we certainly don't want to schedule anyone that wouldn't give us the advantage of playing somebody tough. We want to schedule people that we feel like are going to be a good game for us, games that we could win or not win. But just actually, it's all about getting us ready for district, and in those first 3 games, we obviously want to win. We want to come out of those first 3 games with a winning record. But ultimately, it's about putting together a team that's going to be successful in district.
Well, let's talk about your Tigers. Obviously, James Johnson returns. He was a big 1,300-yard rusher last year. What does he bring to your table on offense, especially with that offense? You got some experience coming back on the line as well. So one would think the offensive line and the running game might be something that is a positive for you, and you're looking to bank on this year.
Right. And, we hang our hat on the running game, but we are potent with our passing game. James is a good running back. He's tough, and he can break long ones off. He can score from anywhere on the field. But the surprising thing is he's hard to bring down.
Once he starts going, right, he gets ahead of steam, and it's tough to bring him down. Talk about that line and how you kind of feel good about having that kind of experience, because I've done this the whole summer long, and not a lot of people have been too happy with their offensive lines because there's usually inexperience. But to have at least 3 or 4 guys back that can handle themselves, it's got to be a plus.
Right. Yeah, we're very fortunate in that we have 4 starters back. All very, very good linemen. They set the tone up front, and for us to have a 3rd ranked offense in our district, and to have those guys back is you can't. I don't think you can quantify that, because it is a big deal. It's very comforting to not only the quarterback but to our OC and to me too, that we got those guys coming back, because they're fighters. They're not, the giant guys that like we've had in the past, and really most of our opponents have. But they're fighters. They're really smart, and they don't give up. I love them.
That's what I like to hear. Let's talk about your defense a little bit. Who are you looking for to step out on defense? And I guess if you had to compare them to the offense, you're a little bit more inexperienced on that side of the ball. So maybe that's what you're looking for in these first couple practices before the season starts.
Yeah, I expect our offense to be a little bit ahead of our defense. Normally, that's not the case. Early in fall camp, you expect the defense to be ahead. We're replacing everybody except for one kid, and it's gonna be a lot of work for those guys, a lot of work for our coaches. But they're absolutely up to the challenge. I'm excited about the guys we got coming. Looking forward to some really good play in our secondary and up front.
Is there anybody that we don't know of yet that we should keep an eye on for, or you want to keep that a secret, a little secret you got there from the rest of the district?
we have some guys that can play. Last year we had, oh man, we're losing 10 starters, but in reality, we had about 14 guys that played consistently and regularly throughout each week. And so, I say we're losing 14 starters on defense, even though we don't have 14 positions all at once. But some of the guys that we got coming back, they've worked really hard this off season, worked hard in the spring, and looking good. I feel good about a lot of our guys actually. Looking for some guys to step up in certain areas. So we'll see. We'll see those first two scrimmages we have, plus the 3 non-district games. Our goal again is that by the time we get through with that 3rd game, we got our guys set.
Well, let's finish off by talking about this a little bit more about this district. Obviously, we could talk ad nauseum about Duncanville and DeSoto, but there's other teams in there. You probably got the most experienced quarterback right down the block at Lake Ridge. He's going to be 3-year starter. He's only a junior, and then of course I was at your game against Waxahachie last year, and that was a little back and forth there as well. Talk about some of these other teams in the district that could pose a problem, and how much you're looking forward to going, nose to nose with them.
I don't know about looking forward to going nose to nose.
It's just something you got to do, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, honestly, it kind of goes back to what I initially said. Every team is competitive. If you look at records, it looks like there might be a team or two that haven't been, but when it gets right down to it, they got guys that get after it. And every week for us it's another hard one. It doesn't end. It's the same mentality each week, because anything can happen on Friday night. They're all coached by really good staffs, and I don't know that you could ever let up in any one week. It's going to be a tough haul.
Absolutely. A big battle week by week to get to the postseason. You made it last year. Let's get in there again this year. I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, it starts next week. So I appreciate you joining us, Coach.
Absolutely.